Good morning. Before saying a few words about the general way we would like to approach this new call, I will lead you through the agenda for today. Because today is quite a busy day. It's organized around 4 sessions. In fact, we will have one this morning about SDM support to Safe Transport Call 2016 response preparation. This will be presented by Paola Di Giovanni, the FPA Coordination Manager. Then, after lunch break this afternoon, we will have 3 other sessions, respectively addressing the objectives of the 2016 Safe Transport Call for proposals. And this will be presented by Maria Graziella Piscopia, the program manager, but also my deputy as Director Technical and Operation. Next session will be with the legal setup of the SESAR Deployment Framework Partnership, again presented by Paola. And we will close the day with a session to inform you about the next steps towards the preparation of this call, to be presented by Freek de Wit, Head of Stakeholder Relation Unit. So it's quite a busy day, but what I want to stress in order for you to be as comfortable as possible during all this session is that first, all the slides you will see this morning and this afternoon will be then made available on our website. So you will have more time after to come back on many details that you will find on these slides, not all of them necessarily presented live today. I also want to stress that on the table you can see some iPads. So iPads appears to be a very useful tool that we experienced. Some of you may remember already last year at the first sneak preview. And these iPads are connected to an ops room in the background where we could receive all the questions you want to put through the iPads. So you could see that for each of the 4 sessions, we have a 30 minutes question and answers that will give us some time to look at the incoming questions, answer to some of them, and the one we have no time to answer right today, we will then provide written answer afterwards. So this methodology, I hope you share the view that it's very helpful. It enables any of you to put any question, even those maybe you don't want like that to take the floor and share orally. At least it comes into our basket of questions, database of questions, and afterwards we will either today or later, I want to insist, even later, but make sure every question you ask will be provided an answer by the DM. This is a sneak preview, so another general principle I want to stress is that we are before the call. So everything we are going to say today, time-wise, contents-wise, priority-wise even, if I could say, remains subject to the call itself. That's why today, and we clearly want to stress the difference, it's a sneak preview. There will be launch event, maybe the date you know already. I will say it will be repeated, 27th of October. This will be the launch event on a stronger basis. Nevertheless, Massimo already explained the timeline that we envisage for the call. Not sure yet, but again, very challenging timeline. And again, as we had last year, Christmas break in the middle, not to help the situation. So first consequence is that starting today, even if the call is not out, we have to start moving. We have to start moving with what we have. We have some general information we are going to share, but we also have the DP. The DP that we delivered yesterday to the Commission, we know, because it's already in the work program, this will be the reference for the PCP part of the call. So I would say most of the material is there, and I hope after the working session of tonight, you will feel already in position to start working towards preparation of the proposal. And of course, we are ready on our side to start working in parallel with you and to support you in this new challenge. I forgot to mention that the Info Day, which is one of the few dates which are sure for the time being, Info Day by INEA is already scheduled on 25th of October. So our launch event on purpose will come 2 days later. Okay, so that's really for the almost logistical aspects, if I could say. And now I would like to, as a kind of transition between the introduction by Massimo and the more detailed working sessions that will follow afterwards, I would like to share with you some high-level principles, or I could also talk about guidelines in order to approach this new call. We have already 2 calls of experience behind us, even if, as raised by Massimo, the first one was a bit special one, but still, we have 2 calls of experience. We are grown up, if I can say. We also have the chance this year to have a DP, the DP 2016, as stressed by Massimo, is unprecedented, robust deployment program with extremely long and, at the end, conclusive and positively conclusive consultation period, not only with operational stakeholders, but thanks to this year, a wider range of cooperative arrangements, even wider consultation with other non-operational stakeholders. So we are convinced that we are going to this call with a lot more opportunities compared to the previous one, even if, indeed, the previous one were already quite successful. So, what I'm going to present, it's no secret. It's something you can find in the strategic view of the deployment program, and therefore it has also been subject to consultation and support by the operational stakeholders. But that general ideas really stemming from lessons learned from the previous call that we would like to share with you from the very beginning. They are valid today, they will be valid the day of the call, and they will be valid all time long. We will prepare the proposal. The first one, taking advantage that we have a robust DP, which for the first time really provide a detailed view of what remains to be implemented after the first 2 calls through the notion of gap, we really want to push a real top-down approach. We would like the DP and the gap into the DP to be the trigger for your project, and not, if I could say, the other way around that sometimes we experienced in the past. That is, for you to pop up with some projects, and for you and us to have sometimes a bit of difficulties to connect well, in a clear manner, your project with the DP. And this happens to be sometimes detrimental into the results of the previous call, because it happens that some project, indeed, the connection was not so clear, and therefore resulted into not favorable outcome, if I could say. This we want to address from the beginning with a more top-down approach, again, gaps-driven. We also want to encourage you not to look at the DP only contents-wise, but time-wise. A lot of effort has been put in sequencing in between the families, the sub-AF and the AF, in order to offer you a kind of logical sequence. Take advantage of that. Focus your interest, focus your energy and your time on those families that we believe are the ones to come in the next call. Some other we have more time, and as Massimo explained, we are quite confident there will be other calls. So no need to rush into this call for families that as DM and together through consultation we have confirmed could wait for future call. So this is what we call the right timing, and really it's about putting the right project into the right call. It's about sequencing. Next point I want to stress, also especially through our close cooperation with Network Manager, we put some effort to identify amongst all the 48 families now in the DP16, the ones who are especially network relevant. We believe this special network flag, network logo, the N in the DP, should be considered. It's certainly something that we must keep in mind, that PCP is, before anything else, about projects contributing to network performance. So we want to keep track, to keep record of this network dimension. My next slide are with the 2 last general considerations. It's with the defragmentation of the implementation. We were right in the previous call to subscribe high over the envelope, showing all this goodwill from industry to move forward. But maybe where we have been a little bit weak, if I could say, is that we submitted through a high number of projects. Just for memory, it was 223 projects in total in our 3 clusters, stemming from, at the beginning, it was more than 400 indications of interest. And at the end, we land with 139, which, again, is a good score. But the fact that maybe we have not been far enough in terms of defragmentation in the previous call is another factor, which could become a success factor if this time again, thanks to your indication of interest, we can start working again to bring together some projects which are very close and which should make more value and sometimes less cost if performed together. So we will be particularly careful on that, and we will encourage and strongly support every project that are multi-stakeholders project. And if I could summarize all what I have said, I would push for multi-stakeholders project and rather mono-gap project, so that we have easy reading and connection. This project is to close this gap and is bringing together all the stakeholders we need to close this gap. This would be an extremely efficient, and I'm quite sure extremely well recognized and evaluated approach if we are able to do that. At least this is a heading we would like to follow. My last point is about civil and military coordination. Last call, for the first time, our military colleague joins, and they join with quite good success. We are happy for that. We believe that also in the line of the defragmentation I discussed before, here there is a special defragmentation, if I could say, especially because one of the key reasons for having the military in the PCP, it's about AF3, the free route, flexible use of airspace in particular, and the SWIM. And that's typical subjects, typical areas where we believe that the ability to submit civil-military project could be recognized again as a high value and a strong signal in favor of defragmentation. So I stop there. Maybe feel free to start sending questions about this high-level principle. You could refer to them more details in the strategic view of the DP. So I guess most of them you knew already. But it was important to open the day on this basis, because as DM, and in particular on the DTO side of the DM, when preparing the proposal, when supporting you, it will be all our main drivers, and it's important, of course, to also raise your awareness about that. So I stop there, this first approach, first step, and now we can open the first of the 4 sessions, and I'm going to give the floor to Paola.